Hello and welcome back for part 2 of my recent 45 acquisitions. You'll see this was from May 31st, 2003, and I had to buy this one again. This is my brother-in-law's favorite song. What's up, Boz? Three Dog Night doing Never Been to Spain. I'm just joking about it being his favorite song, but I do know that he has an appreciation for it. And anyways, beside of that, being Peace of Mind. I do have this 45 from on other copies, but man, this is a clean looking version. This is a really, the label may not look perfect, but the grooves look really good. So next, moving on, I was happy to stumble across this guy. 25624 by Chicago. Definitely my favorite song of theirs. They did a lot of poppy stuff. It was real popular. Got a lot on the radio. Anybody know what time it is? I hate that song. I hate to use that word, and I try not to get negative in his videos, but boy, I just never liked that song. I thought the lyrics were stupid. It's written, the music's written well, but the lyrics didn't really do it for me. But 25 or 64 most definitely did. One of my favorite Chicago songs. Probably the favorite Chicago song. And then the backside of that, Will You Still Love Me? I don't know if that's the Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow song, or if it's something different. I just don't know. But moving on, we've got a really cool Jethro Tull one. And while looking this one up to make sure I had my facts straight, Living in the Past wasn't on album 45. The song didn't appear until the Best of Jethro Tull. But the B-side is what I was most concerned about. And this song came out with multiple B-sides. And the one with Christmas song, I guess this sucker's worth pretty decent money. I found that I have another copy of this, actually. I didn't realize. But I got two good copies of this, and it goes from anywhere in the teens to the 20s. So I guess it was a really great deal for me picking up for $1 recently. And then this one's another reason why I was doing some research, because 110 Soldier I remember being done by Coven, not by the original cast. But this was the original version of the song. This was the first version that came out. Coven did a cover of it, a remake, for the Billy Jack soundtrack, and that's the one that I know, and you probably hear the most on the radio. You know, 110 Soldier rides away. And then the B-side of this is Live for Tomorrow. Seriously doubt I've ever heard that, because I don't think I've ever heard the original version of 110 Soldier. But I do have the Coven 45 somewhere, and this one would make a great addition to the collection. So that's why I had to pick it up. Then here's another great song, Gary Rafferty doing Right Down the Line. Love that song. It's another good tune on the radio. And the B-side to that, Waiting for the Day. Okay, don't know that one, but I definitely know Right Down the Line. And another one was kind of in the same vein, Joe Jackson doing Stepping Out into the Night. That's a good one. You know that song well, heard it plenty of times. B-side being Chinatown, which isn't a song that I'm anywhere near familiar with, but I do know Stepping Out. And then I picked up a couple Americas. I do believe I have some Americas, but I'm not sure I had A Horse with No Name. It's a back-to-back hit, so it's not the original release of it. It's a reissue. And on the B-side of that, we've got a song called I Need You, which I do not recognize. But Been Through the Desert on a Horse with No Name. Who hasn't heard that song? And who doesn't like that song? It's a great song. America did some really, really good work. I recently bought a CD box set of all their first 5 albums, and I haven't had time to sit down and listen to it, but I do plan to in the not-too-distant future. So here we got Ventura Highway in the Sunshine. Yeah, 1972. I wonder if it hit number 3 or that was somebody's record number 3, but I didn't look that up. But Ventura Highway is definitely an awesome song. And Muskrat Love, I remember Captain and Tennille doing that song. I don't know if this is the same song or not, but that's a odd title for a guy's band to put out. Anyways, here, that's a pretty cool capital sleeve there for you. And we've got another America. You Can Do Magic. Anything That You Desire. And that's, I believe, one of their later songs, but I did like that song. And you can tell that the label's different. It's also Capitol instead of Warner Brothers. So, I don't know. If we look this one up, this might be an original issue. B-side, Even the Score. Definitely don't recognize that song. But it's noted as 1982. So, this could well still be a reissue. And then we got a really cool 45 sleeve here. And if you're a fan of the band, you're probably going to know whose sleeve this is. I think both sides are the same. But that it'd be REO Speedwagon. Keep on Loving You. Which, okay, yeah, that was a poppy song. It was great the first time or two I heard it, but definitely got old. Played it to death, and it wasn't one of their better songs. So, B-side of that being Follow My Heart, and that label's in pretty bad shape. Matt Smith saw fit to just write his name all over that sucker. So, cool to have the sleeve. Not the best copy of the 45, but here's a Christopher Cross, which we ran across some of him in the last two boxes. I know we were talking about Ride Like the Wind, and because I remember talking about Saxon doing a cover of it, and him doing a theme from Arthur. But Never Be the Same was on the first album as well. He had, I think, 3 or 4 hits off that first album. Sailing, Takes Me Away. Yeah, Never Be the Same Without Your Love. That was an awesome album. That's a great album. If you've never heard it, definitely pick up Christopher Cross's first album and give it a listen. The Light Is On. I don't know that song as well. That wasn't one of the better songs on the album. But it was a really good album. It's a really good listen. His big claim to fame. I don't think he ever reached those heights again. Now this one, I have a picture disc somewhere. I have a number of copies of this. The Knack doing My Sharona. And again, thanks Cheech Martian for screwing that one up for me, because it's hard for me to hear it and not think of my scrotum. Dun 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 dun. Cheech and Chong. But no disrespect to the Knack. That was a great song. And it was a good album. Get the Knack. And B-side of that being Let Me Out. Classic song. Alright, and then I don't know why I picked this one up, just because I love Joe Walsh and I just keep picking this one up. I've got lots of copies of Life's Been Good, but I think they're all the 435s. I might have gotten one along the way that was the album version, and that might be why in the back of my head I keep picking these up, but I need to look at them and remember, if it's longer than 435, pick it up. If it's not, leave it there for somebody else to enjoy, because I've got enough copies of this, and they all have theme from Boat Weirdos on the back of them. So, not something I need to continue to pick up. Then BTO, Oh, Not Fragile was my favorite album. Roll On Down the Highway. It was a big hit for them. Great song, great band. Love Bachman Turner Overdrive. We've lost a couple of the members this year. Sad to see them go. But it happens to all of us in our time. And Sledgehammer, You're Like a Sledgehammer, baby. Of course, I know this song well, because I know Not Fragile Not extremely well. It's my favorite BTO album. If you haven't heard Not Fragile by BTO, do yourself a favor and pick that one up as well. Awesome album. Best one they did, by far. Then, here we've got an Elton John, Your Song, which was, I'm not sure if it was his very first 45, but it came off of his first album, and it was his big hit and skyrocketed him and Bernie to the top. And I bought this one because the B-side, the label, I think this might just be an original copy. It looks like it's definitely an early edition. If not, Take Me to the Pilot of the Storm. I like that song too. Take Me to the Pilot. So I bought this just to make sure that I had Take Me to the Pilot on a 45. And the chance that might have been an original. Then we've got the Doobie Brothers doing Long Train Running, which I ain't going to try humming for you, but it's a really good Doobie Brothers song. I used to be a casual fan of the Doobie Brothers, and then I bought a box set of their early albums, and now I'm a big fan of the Doobie Brothers. The Doobie Brothers were awesome. I'm surprised I didn't get into them more back in the day, but I was working into the metal at that time, not the Doobie Brothers. Without You being the B-side here. And yeah, I do appreciate the Doobie Brothers now, but not so much back then. And this is probably why Take Me in Your Arms, Rock Me for a Little While. Their hits weren't their best songs. You get the Doobie Brothers albums, and there are so much far better songs on some of them albums than the singles that you know. So if you like the Doobie Brothers and you think that you'd like to hear more of their rocked up stuff, then yeah, look into their catalog. B-side being Slat Keys Soul Rag. I don't recognize that song, and I'm not even sure if it was on one of the albums, but yeah, I recently listened to all theirs and really, really enjoyed them. So here we got one more before we wrap it up today, and that's Grand Funk doing Bad Time. Must have been a bad time to be in love. And the B-side of that being Good and Evil. And that's both of those are from the album All the Girls in the World Beware. Grand Funk was an awesome band, and if you don't know them, you should. Alright, well, that does it for my recent purchases, and we'll be back another day with some more.